All right, hello and welcome back. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and we've been going over MIT's Android App Inventor 2 as part of the Rankin Technical College Summer Adventure Academy. We're in the middle of our sixth app that we're creating, which is an updated or upgraded version of the previous app, the guessing game app. And what I want to do is I want to be able to, like I said, come in here and call check guess, and you'll notice that that will fit like this, but if I change that to what I actually want, move this, get rid of this, which is to have something that returns, now it doesn't fit. But I think that if I come in here and do variables, and I say this, and I create a local variable, all right, so I'm going to create a local variable that's going to be called, we'll call it RES for result. And we're going to set that equal event originally to nothing, all right? Well, we can do it like this. See, that would work, but that's not what I want to do. Let me pause one more time just for a moment. I apologize. All right, a couple things as we go on here. The first is, as I always tell my students, the answer is always in the code. I did go out and I looked at the online book that you have as part, that you have on your flash drive, and I found this. Bottom line is, rather than bore you with a lot of details, I changed the name here to check guess. All right, then what I want to do here is I want to set the result of that label, but I want to set it equal to a call to check guess. All right, so what am I going to do in check guess? Well, again, this doesn't fit in there, okay? But it will fit if I come in here and under variables, no, was it under variables? No. I don't remember where it was. I think maybe under control. Yep, there's a do block. Okay, now, okay, there's two different do blocks because that's not the one that I want. Apologize. All right, sorry about that. I guess it's one of those mornings. But if I do put that in here, then I can flip that into here. All right. So what I want to say is, if this is the case, I don't want to set result equal to that. This right here shouldn't be result. This should be set res to. Again, please play computer. This is my local variable that's called res. All right. If there was nothing in there, res is going to be set equal to this. All right. We're going to be doing a lot of duplication here. I said, I know this looks a little bit goofy with what I'm doing right now, but hopefully at least in just a couple minutes, it'll make sense. So, taking it from the top, this is our local variable. This is something we've just created right here. Again, if there was nothing in our text box, that local variable will be equal to, you must enter a value. All right? Otherwise, if the value in our text box is less than 0, we're setting our local variable equal to this. If it's greater than 100, we're setting our local variable equal to this. If it's less than the generated random number, we're setting it equal to this. If it's greater than the generated random number, we're setting equal to this. Otherwise, we guessed it. So, what we want to do then is we want to return, and the way that I guess it looks like that we return here is we get res. So what that should do is that should set res, which equals either this or this or this or this or this, one of those, all right? It should set our label equal to that. So let's see if indeed it does. I forgot to, of course, start the emulator again. So I'm hoping that by turning it off and starting it up again, that's going to fix the problem. All right, that started up our emulator. Let's connect, do a reset, connect, and try connecting to the emulator. Again, if we have problems, I'm only 9 minutes in, but we're almost finished. There's one more thing that I want to go and add, all right? And that is, not only do I want us to run this now with our procedures in here, but I want to add some sound to it. So in other words, we would be able to allow the user to not just see the results in the text box, but also to hear the result. There it is. Notice we have not yet clicked generate new number, but if I click check guess, guess was too low. All right. Let's try playing it, making sure that nothing broke, so to speak. All right, 50. Guess was too high. 25. Guess was too high. 10. Guess was too low. 19. Guess was too high. 15. You guessed it. So you can see everything is still working. All right. let's go in and let's add one more thing, and then we'll finish up this particular example. First, let me take this and let me collapse that. And let me take this also and collapse that. All right. And let's go back into our designer and let's add a sound component. Remember, sound is under media, and it's one of those non-visible components, so it comes in down here. All right. And we're going to try something. I have no idea if it's going to work or not, but we're going to try it anyway. And that is jumping back into our blocks. Let's bring up what we just were looking at. Okay. Now that's check guess. We shouldn't have to. Let's collapse that. In our check guess. All right, let's go in and see if we can take our sound and well, we want to play, but before we play, we want to set our sound. So set sound one source, we've got to do that first. And we want to set that equal to whatever we're putting in the label. Now, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we're going to try it. In English, what we're trying to do is now we're trying to make sure that not only are we writing a value, to our text box, but we're also having the computer say the result of our guess, etc. out loud. I don't know if this is going to work. I've never tried this before. All right, so generate a new number. We'll leave it at 0. I was hoping that was going to say guess was too low, but it did not do that. I'm just sitting here thinking, there's other ways that we can do this as well. You know, when we're doing the information in here, in our routine right here, we've got res. But I've got a feeling if I say something along the lines of sound1.play and res, I don't know if it's going to allow us to do this or not. I'm wondering if I do this. I've got this result is get this. I am at 15 minutes. I'm going to try to figure out the most optimal way of doing this, and I'll be back with you in the next video in just a couple minutes.